Cool. Hello, guys. Happy Sunday. It is your girl, Paris Taylor, media correspondent for the Urban Key. And today, we have a very special guest. I'm talking about actor, comedian. You've seen him on Sway in the Morning. You've seen him on Saturday Night Live. You've seen him on Kevin Hart's Next Level and so much more. I'm talking about SIUC finest T. Murph. Welcome to the Urban Key.
What up? What up? What up?
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about when you first developed your love for comedy. Like, when did you realize that you really had passion for comedy?
That was probably like 2010. 2010 was the first time I actually started, doing a performance stand-up. It was down in Carbondale.
Okay.
And and then from there, like I got on stage for the first time, and after that, I got bit by the bug. I just kept doing it over and over, even though I wasn't making no money. I just kept doing
it. That's cool. That's cool. Being a comedian, tell me how you handle hecklers. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, I mean, I don't really deal with a lot of hecklers because I mean, people have seen past videos of me just going in on an audience, situations like that. But when I tell like a heckler, if you heckling me, I let them know through the door, like, hey man, if you keep talking about the show, you're gonna become the show. And like and once a few people become the show, they don't want to talk no more because now they mad, now they talking crazy, and I'm like, you mad at me because your ass started talking crazy. So
exactly. That's cool. Well, I mean, I think that's a good way. Like, my biggest fear is sitting in the front row and having a comedian be like, hey. I'm like, oh, no, don't do me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if I was ever to come late to a show, I think I just want to go or else I would have to sit in the back because I'm not walking in the front during.
Right.
I'm just not doing it.
Honestly, man, a lot of us don't bother the audience. Like it may be like a slight joke, but it ain't gonna be nothing when you're getting alienated and nothing like that. Yeah. A lot of people don't want to sit in the front because they think that's the issue.
Right.
Like most comics just want to get through their set. They just want to tell their jokes as they worked on at home and go about their day. But of course, you have audience members that if you like, there's people that literally sit in the front because they want to be talked to.
Oh, wow.
And if you don't talk to them, then they feel like they have to interject. Like, oh, I got to say something. Like, and it's like, oh, I'm helping you be funny. It's like, no, your ass, you're not helping me be funny. You're terrible.
Right. It's like, please be quiet and let me do what I got to do.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's talk about the first time you got on stage, like the first event you ever did. Like, what was that feeling like?
I mean, I did a couple of joints, man. I think the first one I did was at SIU outside in front of like Shryock or something like that. I think me and M Brown were going back and forth roasting each other. And I think that was probably like 2008 maybe. We were just roasting each other, and I won like a roast battle. I think the Alphas or something put on. But yeah, that was like the first time. I wasn't even thinking about doing comedy, and I was just a funny dude from the barbershop.
That's cool. That's cool. Speaking of the barbershop, you mentioned before that by you being a barber, that you've done a lot of your jokes inside of the barbershop. So what is that experience like, being a barber and like telling jokes? And so how do those two kind of like work together basically?
I mean, you always got a live audience. So when you're working in the barbershop, you got an audience that you can work your way and work your material out in front of. Like people in the barbershop, they're gonna lie to you. So they, hey, bro, that ain't funny, dog. It's trash. They're gonna let you know it's whack, it's trash, it's horrible, like whatever. Like, hey, you might want to go work on that one. So that was the benefit of working in the barbershop. I actually had a live audience of people that I could, work my material out in front of. So I knew it was funny before I hit the stage.
Okay. So who has influenced you along the way?
It's so many comics. I mean, I grew up watching Comic View, sneaking to watch Def Comedy Jam. Even when you have HBO and you just had like the squiggly lines, and I'm sitting there listening to the volume instead of watching the actual like the content. But I mean, watching the show. So it was, I mean, from Steve Harvey, all the kings of comedy. Chapelle is my favorite comic. Richard Pryor, Don D.C. Curry, Lunell. Just some more. So many comics. Like I watch comedy. I consume a lot of comedy.
Okay. And like speaking of all of that, what traits do you think are needed to be a comedian? What characteristics do you really need to have to be a good comedian?
You know what? I don't think, honestly, I don't think there are any, because you have some comics who are introverts, right? You have comics that really don't like people, but they're amazing on stage. And then you have other comics like myself, who, when I'm on stage, I'm just this outward, person. Everybody, oh, I want to, and it's like, when I get off stage, I really don't feel like interacting with a lot of people. Like, it's like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna go home. Like,
Okay.
so I don't really think there's any particular personality type that's needed to be a comic. I think just in general, if you have the gift, you have the gift.
I would think that you would definitely have to have tough skin to be a comedian. You can't be going home crying or like, oh man, like you
Yeah.
have to have a lot of confidence as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Confidence is key. And you can still be, like I say, be an introvert and still be very confident
Okay.
in what it is that you do. Um, like I like my homeboy, okay, Lil Rail.
Okay.
When Rail on stage, you see Rail, that's like, oh man, he's this. But when he off stage, he's not like, he like, man, hey fam, like chill, fam. Like he in his own little bubble. It's another comic, Drew Michael, who's hilarious, but he's a very reserved type of individual. I saw he actually did a special with no audience.
Oh
It
wow.
was like literally like a one-man show, hour special that Gerard Carmichael directed, but he's literally just in a room doing an hour worth of material with no audience. And it's funny. But like I say, just different types of individuals. So I mean, you can be
Yeah.
confident, but you don't have to be an extrovert to be a confident comic.
Okay. Well, I mean, like that's good to know. What would you or like who would you consider to be the best to ever do it?
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Okay.
Yep, hands down.
I don't know why I was thinking he was gonna say like Richard Pryor or something like that, but
No, Richard Pryor is number 2 on my list. I love Pryor. I think he's amazing. I've watched a lot of his content, a lot of his specials, a lot of the random videos that they have from the Comedy Store. But nobody has ever done what Dave Chappelle has done in the stand-up world. Like whenever you ask people about who the best comedian is, a lot of people will say Eddie Murphy. And no knock to Eddie Murphy, but when I look at Dave Chappelle and what he brings to comedy, nobody has done that. As far as with the content, the current events, talking about what's going on, what's happening now, just bringing awareness to everything. And then also being able to drop 4 specials in a span of a year and a half, and all of them funny as hell. And then you drop a 5th special. It's like nobody, no comedian has ever done that. Like, I don't care who you are. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, black folks, we love Bernie Mac to death. Like, it's just no comic has done what Chappelle has done. And he's just the greatest. I mean, all around.
That's true. Speaking of what's going on in the world today, let's talk Nick Cannon. So, recently on his podcast, he said something about the Jewish community, and he got a lot of backlash for it. Of course, Wildin' Out is canceled now, and he's going through a lot right now. So, like, what's your take on that?
I mean, it's weird, man, because Nick got put in a place where his show was taken away from him, but it's like in today's climate, it's like what can or what can't you say? And as a comic, it's like, do I have the space to be able to say what I want? Right. Or do I not have the space to be able to say what I want? And it's a weird gray area, because everybody right now is offended. No matter what you say, you're gonna offend somebody. You can be like, oh man, it's nice outside. It is not nice. Somebody gonna be pissed off. It's too hot. It's horrible outside. So you don't know, what you can or can't say. I didn't actually read all of what Nick Cannon said. I just know that he said something about, like you say, something about the Jewish community or whatever. And then next thing you know, is Wildin' Out was gone. And I was like, and I got a lot of homies that's on Wildin' Out. Like Conceited, that's my homeboy, Darren Brand, Carlos Miller, like them the homies for real, for real. So, it's kind of sad to see it going. Hopefully, man, at some point we can get it worked out. And they can get brought back, because I feel like, if you looking at MTV, they ain't got nothing else. No. Like they ain't nobody running home to cut on MTV. Like, I gotta see TRL. Like, it's been gone. Like it's a wrap.
That's true.
So they don't have anything else. So that's their cash cow. So in order for them to say like, oh, we gotta get Nick gone, what y'all gonna do now?
Yeah.
So they got to figure it out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, and then hopefully they can reach like a middle ground and get Wild 'N Out back on air.
I think it was very big of Oprah to say, "Hey, you can come to OWN," and also for Diddy to be like, "You can come to Revolt." Now, I
Yeah,
don't know if I would go to Revolt because I don't know how Diddy business deals are, but I definitely could see him going to OWN. Oprah said she would give him 10 million to bring his show over there. So I'm just like, hey, I say,
that's love. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I would definitely, if I was him, I would definitely chop it up with Oprah. It's just, when you get into shows like that, now you got to get into ownership, and it's
yeah,
like he was saying that, technically, I guess Viacom owns the rights to Wild 'N Out.
right.
So now it's about actually getting the show, or being able to take a variation of the show, and then now they say, "Oh, you stole our idea," and they can sue you. It's so much that goes along with that.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
you also worked with Kevin Hart on The Next
Yeah.
Level. So like let's talk about that experience and how was that?
Um, Man, it was a very good experience. I mean, it helped my career a lot. I went from I think I had like 8,000 followers before I shot that, and I'm at like 32,000 or something like
That's
that now.
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, I mean, it helped, and it helped get your name out because Kevin has a built-in audience. You
Okay.
know, he's a very cool individual. Nobody works as hard as that dude. I don't care who you are. Nobody, to see him leave from one project, come over to where we're at, interview us, make sure the production and everything is going well because his name is on it.
Right.
And then leave from that to go to an interview, and then leave from that interview to go to, shoot a couple of scenes for a movie, and then leave from there to go to a meeting about TV shows that he said, like, this dude's day was insane. So just to see him, his work ethic really motivated me, from getting up at 4 a.m, working out, to, making sure he
Yeah.
out the house at 7 to get to the first meeting of the day, and then also filming. And yeah, Kevin's a monster.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. At what moment in your career did you say, man, you know what? I can really do this?
It was probably like the first 6 months in. First
Okay.
6 months in, I came to Chicago and I performed at Jokes and Notes.
Okay.
Yeah, I performed at Jokes and Notes, and Jokes and Notes is one of those comedy clubs where it's like the barbershop. If you ain't funny, they ain't laughing.
Right, right,
you
right.
know. So I went in there at Jokes, and I got it in. I had 3 minutes on stage. I did my 3 minutes. At the time, you had comics like Ray Lapowski, D. Ray was there, Lil Rel was in the building, Marlon Mitchell. So you got
Okay.
all these super funny dudes, and I'm the new dude,
Okay.
and no new guys was going up, and one new dude went up before me and bombed. I'm
Oh,
talking about,
dang.
he died, and the host was Marlon Mitchell, and Marlon come out
Oh,
and was like, so Marlon come up, he come running, he said, "I don't know what's going on. I was in the bathroom taking a piss. This old lady opened the door and said, 'You need to come get him off the stage.' I couldn't even finish shaking. I had to run back to the stage."
that's
So
crazy.
so so he tried to tell the people, he was like, he said, "This next dude coming to the stage, man, very funny brother, man. I knew him for a long time. Y'all gonna love him." I get ready to walk up. He say, "Let me stop lying. Man, I don't know this dude. Matter of fact, the last dude that just got off the stage, this his little brother."
Oh,
That's how he brought me to the stage, man. So it was crazy. That was my first time at Jokes Notes, and I went up there and I roasted the dude that had just got off stage, and then did my
oh,
three
dang.
minutes,
That had to
and
be horrible for him.
yeah, and then people, man, they received it well. I got a lot of laughs, man. My first time ever at Jokes and Notes.
That's cool. That's actually like a very like funny story. How do you prepare before you go on stage? Do you maybe take a shot or do you like say a prayer or like what do you do before you prepare for your shows?
I just go up. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So when I'm getting ready to perform, I just go. Like at this point, it's just like second nature.
Okay.
It's like I either you're gonna be funny or you not. That's all. So
Okay.
and consistency is the key in comedy. So consistently, being funny and putting in those 10,000 hours. Like I don't care what the audience look like, how many people there, who, and I'm gonna be funny.
Yeah, definitely. You also were on Sway in the Morning, which is a
Yeah.
major deal. Let's talk about that. I actually watched, had the opportunity to watch it, and man, like I said, you are definitely funny as hell. So let's talk about
Thank
that.
you.
You're welcome. Let's talk about that experience.
Um, that Sway in the Morning thing, it's like a Sway in the Morning comedy search,
Right.
and it's put together by DB, right? Who
Okay.
is also on Sway in the Morning. And my homeboy comedian Eli Hamilton did it before. So I
Okay.
wasn't familiar with it, and he told me about it. So, a couple of comics I know have done it, but nobody from Chicago won.
Yeah.
So everybody kept trying to say, "Oh man, I feel like you bigger than that, Murph. You done had a half hour. You got all this other stuff going on." I'm like, "Hey man, am I famous yet?"
Man.
Exactly. So it don't matter. It don't matter what's no opportunity's too small. I need people to see me. And
And
Sway has a massive audience.
yeah, and you are right. Like that is the right mentality to have. A lot of people that I come in contact with think that they might be too big for a certain platform, and I think
Yeah.
that way of thinking will definitely get you far in your career. It's like you have to humble yourself at some point and know that.
Mhm.
I mean, like we all started from somewhere at some point. So it's just, man, like any opportunity to where you get a chance to do your craft, I think anyone should just take advantage of the situation, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I went out, I submitted like everybody else. And then they saw my video. I actually submitted a year prior and I
Okay.
didn't make it. And then they saw my video and they were like, "Man, hey, we love to have you." So I literally made no money, flew myself out there. I was in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Um, and I had actually flew to Los Angeles to read for Woke.
Oh,
So I flew to LA I was in Pennsylvania, and Hulu flew me from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles to read. Me and Lamar Morris were in the room together reading.
mhm.
And then I left from doing the table read, not the table read, but the chemistry read with Lamar to see if I was gonna get the role. I flew to New York to do Sway in the Morning.
Oh, wow.
And literally, like I say, so biggest opportunity in my career to go do something for free just for
Exactly.
exposure.
That's dope, though.
And went and destroyed it, won first place, and then got the call from my homeboy to film something on SNL the very next day.
Oh, wow. Dope.
So
So,
yeah,
do you prefer acting or stand up?
I mean, I'm a stand-up at heart, so I love stand-up. Acting is always going to be a vehicle to get me exposure to more people in order to get them to come see me do stand-up.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah.
What has been your greatest achievement so far in your career?
Um, honestly, I don't know. I guess I would say woke. Woke right
Okay.
now. I think I would say woke is probably my greatest achievement because when you think about it, there's a lot of comedians. There's a
Right.
lot of people that are funny, but how many of us actually get to say that we starred in a show?
Yeah.
Like, and this is, I mean, back in the day, you're like, "Oh, I got a TV show," and I've been saying, I'm like, "Oh, I got a TV show." And I'm like, "I really is it a TV show?" Because you can watch it on your phone, you can watch
Right.
it on your MacBook, you can watch it on your iPad, you can watch it on whatever streaming device you got. So I'm like, I'm literally starring in a show that people can watch on anything.
Well, that's
Like
true.
this is crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would
So,
definitely
like,
say woke is my biggest achievement.
tell us more about Woke, like the role you played, and just like everything about the show and what we can expect.
Okay, well, I mean, my name on the show, I play this character called Clovis. Clovis is basically me. Um,
Mhm.
Clovis is a go getter, ladies man, and he's always
Okay.
hustling, man. Um, I'm best friends with Keith Knight, who was played by Lamar Morris. Uh, Keith is a black cartoonist, very whitewashed guy. Um, not really on the woke side of things.
Okay.
He's just kind of floating through life, man, enjoying it. And like I say, I'm the other side. So it's like you got a conscience, right? And
Right.
you would have a Keith Knight and you would have a Clovis. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
And then you got our boy Blake Anderson who played on Workaholics.
Okay.
He plays Gunther. And
Okay.
so we all three of us live in the same apartment complex, same apartment, and man, we just go through some crazy times, man. With Keith coming through this awakening. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out the trailer. It'll give you a little more insight into the show, but it's gonna be a very dope show, and it's actually um, a lot of the current events that are happening right now. It's
Okay.
eerie how much they reflect that.
Okay. So when can we watch the show? I want to say, if I'm correct, it's September 9th. Is that right?
September 9th, we're dropping all 8 episodes on Hulu.
Oh,
Yep,
like all at once.
Yep. So y'all can
Oh,
binge it. That way we can go ahead and get a season 2.
that's the best thing because I hate being on like another episode. So like that's
Yeah.
dope where it's just
Yeah.
all there. Yeah, it's definitely dope.
Yeah.
Are there any other projects that you have going on that I might have missed that the people should know about?
I'm on this BET Plus show called Black in the Day.
Okay.
That actually just dropped not too long ago. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I have my half-hour special that is on Comedy Central. You can watch that. I also bootlegged it. So if you don't have on demand on Comedy Central, just go to YouTube and type in T Murph Comedy Special. It'll pop right up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right. And then what else, man? Man, it's a lot. Laugh Mobs, Laugh Tracks. I was on 2 episodes of that on True TV.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, just definitely stay on the lookout. I got a lot of things going on, a lot of things that you may have or may have not seen. If you just type my name in Google, I'm sure it'll pop up.
Yes, it's a whole, like, it's everywhere. Yes, because I was like, dang, like, where should I start?
Yeah, it took a while to get there. I remember early I used to type in comedian T, and there's one cat T-Rex will pop up all the time. I talk to him about that now. So now I got the T, comedian T Murph. Yeah.
Now that's good. I mean, you've definitely been doing a great job, and I want to commend you on it. And it's dope to see Saluki, like doing major things. Like, I'm very proud of you. Now, something new that I do on here is when I give you a word. So I want to give you a word, and just kind of want you to make a joke around the word, or just something funny. So you ready?
I feel like this is a bomb. Go ahead, let's do it.
So the word is okay. The word is peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Yeah.
Look, you get your peanut butter jelly. Look at that. Look, see, I made a joke just that fast.
It works.
Because that's all I can think about. I'm like, peanut butter jelly. Like, what we in Florida? Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly.
Hey, it works. It works. Hey,
no.
like, man, you did a good job. Hey, I take it. Because you know what? I definitely bust out a laugh. So, hey, yeah.
See, there we go.
All right. Well, you know what? I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule for joining us. Yes. Can you tell the people how they can follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on any and everything at I am T Murph. It's just IAMTMURPH, or just type in T Murph. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I am T Murph fan page, all one word. And if you're on Snapchat, it's Murph is funny. If you still do that, I don't know who's still using Snapchat, but if you are, check it out. Yeah. I'm on that. So,
all right, guys, make sure you follow him, and make sure you follow the Urban Key on IG and Facebook, and make sure you follow your girl Paris Taylor on IG, Facebook, Twitter at Paris Taylor 22. That's PARISTAYLOR 22. And you know what, man? Continuous success. Anytime you have anything going on, we want to make sure that we bring you back. This is an outlet that you are always welcome at. So hey, just hit us up, and we'll definitely bring you back on. And you enjoy your Sunday.
All right, you as well. Thank you, Paris.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
All right, peace.
Bye.